This was a quick exchange that happened back in 2018. It shows the older of the two Paul brothers preparing to meet boxing's current man of the moment.
No joke. I thought I was a big guy. Yeah. You're a machine.
It also shows what happens when 6'2" meets 6'6".
And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance.
It's the wrong brother, I know. But you see, the problem is that Logan is the comfortably bigger of the two. Jake's listed as 6'1" in some places, but he's more 6 foot.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen!
So from this size difference, you can add another couple of inches and another layer of intimidation.
Joshua!
At that moment in time, Joshua still looked invincible.
Oh, but Joshua with the knockdown!
He'd stopped Takam and Klitschko before outpointing Joseph Parker.
And he's in there against the most destructive, most powerful heavyweight on the planet, and he's digging in.
And realistically, at this point, only Deontay Wilder stood a chance.
Everybody wants this fight next. What do you have to say to the champ?
Short, sweet, and simple. Joshua, I'm coming.
On the flip side, Jake, or Logan for that matter, were yet to even lace up a pair of gloves. But fast forward 6 years, and look at where we are now.
Mamma mia, the problem child! There's the smile!
But here's the thing. I want to fight Anthony Joshua exclusive because I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua's ass.
Almost 100% guaranteed he's going to get hurt unless it's an exhibition. Now, I don't think Anthony Joshua is the kind of guy that can hold back.
There's no way he'd get demolished.
No doubt very polarizing, but certainly one of the most talked about athletes, influencers, celebrities in the world today.
Whether you like it or not, and most of you don't, Jake's one of the biggest names in boxing.
Jake is a heck of an athlete. He's a heck of an entertainer. I've always said that, he might even be the face of the sport of boxing.
He beat Mike Tyson in front of 108 million eyeballs, and he's put away some of the biggest names in combat sports. Boxers? No, but superstars? Absolutely. So you can pick whichever word you like to describe a potential AJ Paul clash in 2026, but impossible just isn't one of them.
Why did you do that?
To be the heavyweight champion of the world. His chin's gone.
But he's still Anthony Joshua.
Which is stiff and no rhythm, no skill, just power.
You're serious about fighting him?
Yeah. It's 2026, we already talked.
But the big question, and the one that, as a boxing fan, you're probably more intrigued about, will we finally see Jake Paul face down on the canvas?
Right hand! Staggers Jake Paul!
Will he finally hit a downward spiral? And will we get that much-deserved redemption moment for Iron Mike Tyson?
And to be fair to Jake, you're going to tune in to watch him get knocked out, hopefully, right? That's what everybody wants to see.
When he fought Mike, Jake made one of the biggest shockwaves in the boxing world that I can honestly ever remember.
Man, there must be 100 million people on Netflix right now because this fight keeps cutting out on the live feed, and this is crazy.
It hit the casual audience in a completely different way and gave one of the sport's most beloved icons a well-deserved farewell payday.
How could you not admit that you've changed the game? You know what I mean? Like, elevate it. You literally had the first live streaming on Netflix event.
The fight itself, yeah, not great, but it was never meant to be.
Father Time is unbeaten for a reason, everybody.
That's right.
Like, I would do it if I were either of them. Jake got 40 million. Tyson got 20. Neither of them. Yeah, neither of them are in danger, but it was exactly what I thought.
I have the biggest fight in boxing history.
It's a little like those Mayweather spectacles.
It seems that he is the guy that most everyone wants to see beat up.
That dominate all of the top earning spots.
Get your ski mask on. Get ready, because May 1st, it's going to be a stick-up.
Enormous, but anticlimactic. And Paul is riding that same wave.
Floyd was built to be the villain. Floyd was built with his opponents that we put in front of him, from Miguel Cotto to everybody. He was the villain, and in a movie, you need the hero and a villain, and Floyd was the perfect villain.
I'm a prize fighter. That's what I was supposed to fight for. A prize, duh.
The same come and watch me lose that had purists and casuals alike, even at ground level, waiting for that one moment that never came.
Mayweather toying with him now as we get to the last 10 seconds.
It's a proven business model that's got Netflix on side. The only problem now for Jake is that he needs to keep going bigger.
What did he say, AJ, to you about it?
He said, why not? I said, what do you want me to say when I'm asked about it? And he said, tell everyone I'll fight anyone, anytime. It's not a problem for me. Who knows where it'll go?
So Eddie confirmed that they'd entertain it, and Jai Apataya was a little less impressed.
Man, I don't know what we're talking about him, honestly, babe. I'm chasing world titles up here. I'm waiting for a unification phone call, so f*** him.
However, as the grandeur rises, the consequences become more and more grave. Joshua has always shown love to boxing social media stars.
The marketing has got them in a position where they're leaps and bounds ahead of some of fighters that have been going on for 5-10 years.
Around the same time as that Logan Paul interaction, AJ actually set up his own YouTube channel, a distraction that some attributed to his eventual downfall a year later.
June the 1st, I'll be traveling to MSG, abbreviated for Madison Square Garden.
Either way, he was one of the controversial few that picked Jake to beat Mike, or at least one of the only ones that said it out loud.
Tyson's he's older now, but I pray that he comes out healthy. But I think Jake Paul because of youth.
But there's still bigger fish to fry.
It's alright. It's also got to be a fight that means something to it. He's not fighting for the money. He's not fighting because he needs to. He's fighting because he wants to. He wants to challenge himself. He wants to be in big fights, and he wants to become world heavyweight champion again.
Right hand there for Parker, and down goes McCauley.
There's Joseph Parker causing havoc. There's a Daniel Dubois rematch that needs rectifying.
Dubois is boxing out of his skin here.
And there's a Tyson Fury mega fight that still feels like an inevitability.
It's such an important fight for both men to define the era. It's also a filibuster in terms of what it is commercially.
People might say Parker, people might say, I don't know, but I think Fury commercially is a great fight, and it's a great man's fight as well.
So while Jake at this stage represents little more than a lucrative retirement plan, for the problem child, it's still a win-win, as he now aligns with all three faces of boxing.
Canelo said last week on the pod.
Yeah, he said on this
He pretty
pod.
much said he'd be down to do it.
Exactly, and when I said it 2 years ago, people were like, oh, this kid's a fucking joke, or he's an idiot.
So, the prospective Canelo fight fell apart at the final hour as the Saudis swooped in.
Don't miss with the line.
Next, just a month later, Lamont Roach nullified the Tank Paul rumors.
You called out Canelo in the ring. Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it.
But the boxing world needs somebody to hate. So where else does Jake go? Does he pick another influencer and stay in his lane?
True or false, in the year 2025, Jake Paul fights KSI?
Does he pick an Alex Pereira to cause more crossover chaos?
He's the king right now of the UFC, so I want him. I'm going to decapitate him and dethrone him.
Or does he do the opposite?
Because what they're saying is, when you going to fight real boxers?
Like present day dude.
Yeah. There's risk of, yeah, for sure. But I want to challenge myself, continue to grow in this sport, and get to the top of it from like a skill level.
I'm not sure what the inverse of cherry picking really is, but hand selecting fights that look unwinnable on paper is certainly a new chapter in boxing's playbook.
It's very dangerous. You know, it's probably like a southern area cruiserweight champion fighting Anthony Joshua.
When I do become a world champion, I'm just going to play the clip over and over again.
He's got a picture of me in his gym.
Yeah, of him trying to deny what I could possibly do.
And if Gervonta at 5'5" looked dangerous,
But in this fight, he's not looking.
There's a big left hand.
and Canelo at 5'8" even more so,
Canelo Alvarez explodes.
then this one is a clear step too far. When you put them side by side, obviously it doesn't look good for Jake. He's 6 inches shorter in both height and reach. Against Mike, Jake came in at 227 pounds.
Official weight, 227.2 pounds.
In his last handful of fights, Joshua has been around the 250 mark. And in the last 10 years, there's only been 2 AJ opponents that have come in under 230.
There's a right hand. And a body shot from Joshua.
And they're Alexander Usyk and Alexander Povetkin, 2 Eastern European maestros with hundreds of amateur fights to their name.
He likes the left hook as well, punching a lot of power.
Oh, gets inside there.
Now Jake's getting better, make no mistake. He's got the tools and funds to move and improve far quicker than your average fighter. But experience-wise, it's not even remotely close.
There is no way he believes he can beat Canelo. There is no way he believes he can beat Anthony Joshua. One's madness.
The only good news, if there is any, is that Joshua isn't an unorthodox kind of fighter. He's fundamentally airtight, but there's no awkwardness or slipperiness. So he's an easier task to prepare for than a Tyson Fury. At least you'd think so.
But it was also Fury's plan to utilize Ngannou as a marketing tool for the Usyk fight, and that backfired on him.
Ngannou lands the big shot, and the heavyweight champion has to pick himself off the canvas. Unbelievable left hook.
The guy just deserves to have had one of the greatest wins. I mean, I don't know what I was watching. I don't know what Tyson Fury was doing.
I picked Fury in the last fight.
Yeah.
I said Fury was going to stop him 5 or 6. I always felt like AJ was a better matchup. Partly psychological, and partly because he's more susceptible to getting hit with big punches.
But there it was, a 270-pounder who'd just gone 12 with Fury, and one of the best chins in combat sports, cracked like an egg.
He was quite special because he stopped me. He did what Tyson Fury couldn't done.
Jake managed to hold distance against Mike, but this was a man 20 years out of the game.
23%. Tyson coming out aggressively.
He won't be able to rush AJ like Dubois did, or box and move like Usyk did. So where Andy Ruiz's left hook that scrambled AJ's senses back in 2019 was considered a shot from the gods,
And we are witnessing one of the biggest shots in modern heavyweight history.
Jake would need a Hail Mary at range like nothing we'd ever seen before to pull off the biggest sporting upset in boxing history. Failing that, Joshua finishes him any way he chooses.
Looking unsteady. Joshua looking to measure him up. Could this be gone in the past? He's caught him with another right hand.
Go out and call Anthony Joshua and you go and actually fight him, you stepping between the ropes automatically gains you respect.
Let's hope we see Joshua Fury and plenty more big fights before we need to really consider this one.
This is likely to be Anthony Joshua's final year in the sport, and he's got some huge fights in mind.
Anthony Joshua.
But following a year that's now seen Crawford jumping up to achieve the unthinkable, Don't be surprised if things get even crazier come 2026.
The question was, would you be worried about AJ fighting Jake Paul? No, of course I wouldn't be worried about AJ fighting Jake Paul. But I'd love to see it, so please make it happen.